moments. Listen to Mike Shilt's post-game comments. Plus, we'll bring you today's play of the game. From the Padres Radio Network, here's Sam Levitt.
We are live inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. Final score in this series opener between the Rays and the Padres. 1-0 Tampa Bay wins it. Final totals here tonight for the Rays. 1 run, 6 hits, no errors. And for the Padres, no runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Padres drop to 17-9 on the year. The Rays win a third consecutive game. They improve to 12-14. Welcome into the Jamul Casino Resort postgame show. Hey, player, when it comes to giving you what you want, Jamul Casino Resort isn't playing around. It's way more than a place to game. It's a place where you can stay and play in every possible way. Jamul Casino Resort, the player's place. A pretty frustrating night for the Padres on this Friday. We will get into all of it. We have all the radio highlights for you. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Full look at the out-of-town scoreboard and much, much more to come. But first, some initial thoughts for you. The Padres offense continues to really struggle. The Padres have now not scored since the second inning on Tuesday in Detroit. The Padres getting shut out on Wednesday in the series finale against the Tigers. And once again here today, no runs on 5 hits. Shane Baz was excellent in this game. 7 scoreless innings for the Rays. Gave up just 4 hits. He walked 1, struck out 6. The lone run that came in this game was an unearned run against Michael King, an error on Xander Bogaerts on a throw. He had a tough night. We'll get into Xander's evening. It was a tough one for Xander here tonight. Throwing error in the third. Ultimately, that run comes into score on a sac fly from Yandy Diaz in the third inning, and that was all the scoring the Padres, or I should say the Rays, would have in this game. All the scoring that happened in this game entirely. Padres didn't have much going, just 3 at-bats with runners in scoring position. They left 5 on base, and look, I know there's going to be kind of a lot put on Xander in this game, and we'll get into the couple of spots he came up with runners in scoring position. Obviously, the error was part of this game as well, but top to bottom, Padres offense just not clicking right now. Certainly not clicking like they were in the first couple of weeks of the season. Obviously, the injuries, I think, clearly have a lot to do with that, but we talked in the pregame about the Padres only averaging 2.5 runs per game in their last 8 games, and it's kind of been the story lately. This offense not getting it going. They have not scored more than 4 runs now in 9 games, and now they've been shut out in back-to-back games after they were not shut out for 80-plus games going back to last year, and that was before Wednesday. So the offense continuing to struggle. They are really cold right now, top to bottom. Fernando Tatis Jr. did have a couple of hits in this game, but that was about it as far as the bright spots offensively for the Padres here today. The pitching side of things, you can't really point at the pitching today in any way, shape, or form. Michael King threw a lot of pitches, but hey, 5 innings, no earned runs given up, struck out 9, 4 hits allowed. If Xander doesn't make that error to start the rally in the top half of the third, who knows, might be a very different inning for Michael King. And then the bullpen was great. I mean, kept it a 1-0 game. Adrian Morejon, Wandy Peralta, Jeremiah Estrada, Alec Jacob combining for 4 scoreless innings out of the pen. But bottom line is this, whether it's a 6-0 score like it was Wednesday or a 1-0 score like it was here tonight, it's impossible to win a game if you don't score runs. And the Padres offense is very cold right now, unfortunately. Again, they have not scored since the Elias Diaz 2-run home run on Tuesday in the second inning of that game. In fact, if you want to go back a little farther, if you go to Monday, the series opener in Detroit, the only runs the Padres have scored since the 5th inning on that Monday game is the Elias Diaz 2-run home run in the second inning on Tuesday. So bottom line, that's not a great recipe for winning ball games if you can't get the offense going. And right now the Padres offense struggling in a pretty big way as they lose 1-0 to the Tampa Bay Rays. We'll step aside when we return. We have all the radio highlights for you. We'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Much more to come as the Padres drop this series opener on a Friday night at Petco Park. Our post-game coverage continues after these words. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park. And despite a tough loss for the Padres here tonight, still everybody here inside the loft having a good time. There's a lot of people still in here finishing up their drinks. The cool thing about the loft, if you haven't checked out the newly renovated loft so far this season, they are keeping it open for a good while after the game ends. Allow everybody to finish up their drinks and chat and hang out, play pool, the Papa Shot, the pinball machine over there. So it is fun in here, and plenty of people still here, even as Petco Park empties out. Tough one for the Padres here tonight as they fall 1-0 to the Tampa Bay Rays. Padres have now lost 2-4 on the road trip, so that would be 2-5 in their last 7 games now, and the Padres will try to bounce back tomorrow with right-hander Dylan Cease on the mound. We'll have plenty on that game coming up a little bit later on. We'll hear from Mike Shildt in just a little bit as well, but first let's recap this one from start to finish.
Which moments determine the outcome of today's game? We'll paint you a picture with our game highlights on the Padres Radio Network.
We had a really good starting pitching matchup tonight. Michael King on the mound for the Padres, Shane Baz on the mound for the Rays, and both guys were good early on, 2 scoreless innings apiece. We had a scoreless game going top 3. Rays number 9 batter Taylor Walls started the inning with a ground ball to shortstop. Pretty routine. Xander Bogaerts made a low throw to first base. Gavin Sheets couldn't dig it out cleanly. A throwing error on Xander, and then 2 straight singles loaded the bases with nobody out. Next up was Yandy Diaz.
2-2. Diaz swings, hits it on the line out to left field. Ornelas back it up, makes the catch in front of the warning track. Deep enough for Walls to tag and score. He does. And on a sacrifice fly, the Rays get an unearned run. It's 1-0.
Now, if you listen to our post-game coverage often, you know that we wouldn't typically play a highlight of an opposition sac fly in the third, but sometimes it goes that way. So Wall scored from third base. Rays had a 1-0 lead, though King did a nice job retiring the next 2 batters to end the inning. That one unearned run against Michael King felt really costly for a while because the Padres weren't capitalizing on opportunities. They had runners on first and third with 2 men away in the third. Xander Bogaerts struck out to end the inning, a leadoff single in the 4th inning, and then this to begin the 5th.
And Ornelas swings, lines it up the middle, over the head of Walls and into center field, a base hit. Tirso Ornelas in his first career start at Petco Park, his first major league hit.
Nice moment for Tirso Ornelas, his first major league hit for the Tijuana native. And by the way, I'm going to have a cool little story for you on that coming up a little bit later. There was an awesome moment despite the loss here at Petco Park on that Tirso Ornelas first major league hit. But the Padres couldn't do anything with that leadoff knock. Michael King was done after 5 innings and 90 pitches. Adrian Morejon came in and pitched a 1-2-3 top of the 6th inning. Meanwhile, Shane Baz, he kept putting up zeros. He worked around a 1-out walk in the 6th inning. He then hit Jose Iglesias with 2 men away in the 7th inning. Iglesias stole second to put the tying run in scoring position, but Tirso Ornelas popped out to end the frame. The Rays still led 1-0. What a night for Shane Baz. 7 scoreless innings, 4 hits, 1 walk. He struck out 6 on 97 pitches. Jeremiah Estrada came in, pitched the scoreless top of the 8th inning. So the Padres still trailed 1-0, going bottom 8. Manuel Rodriguez came in from the Rays bullpen. He allowed a 2-out double to Fernando Tatis Jr., but then bounced back to strike out Xander Bogaerts looking to end the inning. Top of the 9th inning, again, a scoreless top half of the 9th inning for Padres pitching as Alec Jacob came in and retired the side. So we went to the bottom half of the 9th inning. Padres still trailing by a score of just 1-0. Garrett Clevenger came into the game, replacing Manuel Rodriguez, looking for the save. He struck out Manny Machado for out number 1. Gavin Sheets then struck out swinging, but a passed ball by the catcher, Ben Rortvedt. He kind of boxed it. It bounced away towards the first base dugout, far enough away where Sheets reached safely at first base. A gift for the Padres, and just like that, they had the tying run on base and the winning run at the plate. Mason McCoy pinch ran for Gavin Sheets at first base, and up at the plate was Oscar Gonzalez.
McCoy, big lead, not running, and Oscar swings, loops it into shallow right. Meisner charging, dives forward. He made the catch. Throwback to first base is in time. McCoy is doubled up, and the ball game is over. The Padres will wait and see if they want to challenge any piece of this play, either the catch or the play at first base.
The call in the field are confirmed out in right field. It's a catch and out at first base.
And so the Padres drop game one of this series 1-0. They are shut out in back-to-back games. And the only run tonight, bitterly, an unearned run back in the top of the third inning.
And that was that here tonight. A really, really nice catch by Cameron Meisner in right field. He threw back to first base, doubling off Mason McCoy at first. And that was the ball game as the Padres fall 1-0. Before I give you the final totals, I did go back and look at the high home replay of that final play, that double play, because I wanted to see what exactly happened with Mason McCoy between first and second. And let me say this. Number one, great play by Meisner coming in, and he just got that ball on a clean catch, clearly got it, right before it hit the outfield grass. It was a great catch, and then a really good reaction and throw to toss it back to first base. Mason McCoy in that spot has to get halfway between first and second, because if that ball drops in, that's the kind of play where McCoy can get thrown out at second base on a force out. If Meisner, picks it on a short hop and then throws to second. So he did get halfway. He actually did the right thing. What cost Mason McCoy, looking at the high home replay, was that McCoy initially thought that it hit the grass and that Meisner had trapped it, because McCoy broke for second, took a few steps that way, and then immediately put on the brakes and went the other way back to first. And by the time he did that, Meisner threw him out. So McCoy did the right thing getting halfway, but he broke for second base. I know there are going to be people out there that are unhappy with Mason McCoy, and it is a spot there you can't get doubled off. But with that said, that was a very tough read for McCoy in a couple of different ways, because he's got to get midway at least to make sure he's not forced out at second base. And then it was such a tough read on whether it was caught or it hit the grass first. And I could see from his vantage point where that would be tough to read. He broke for second, and then by the time he decided to go back to first, I think that's what really cost him on that play. And unfortunately, a double play to end the game as the Padres fall by a final score of 1-0. Final totals for Tampa Bay: 1 run, 6 hits, no errors. For San Diego, no runs, 5 hits, and 1 error. Padres dropped to 17-9, and the Rays improved to 12-14. We'll step aside. When we come back, we'll hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Much more to get to as we continue to wrap this one up on the Padres Radio Network. Welcome back to the Jamul Casino Resort postgame show, brought to you by the all-new Jamul Casino Resort, the Players Place. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. Tough one for the Padres here tonight as Tampa Bay wins it 1-0. A sac fly off the bat of Yandy Diaz in the third inning, the lone run scored in this game, and that was set up an error by Xander Bogaerts to begin that inning on a ground ball off the bat of Taylor Walls. A couple of singles, including a bunt single at the top of the lineup by Chandler Simpson, and Diaz hit a sac fly with nobody out to drive in that first run, and hard to believe that was the only run of the game here tonight. And look, it was a tough evening for Xander Bogaerts. Had the error that led to the unearned run against Michael King. Bogey came up a couple of times in this game in big spots. Third inning, right after the error, runners on first and third with 2 men away, struck out against Shane Baz, then came up with a runner on second base, still trailing 1-0 in the eighth inning, 2 men away, struck out looking against Manuel Rodriguez. And look, it was one of the things we talked about pregame today. I'll read you my key to today's game. One of them, the headline was a bogey bomb. We talked about the Padres needing a little bit more thump from Xander in the middle of that lineup. And Bogaerts moved up to the number 2 spot today between Fernando and Manny. And unfortunately, over 3 with a walk today was Xander Bogaerts. But before we hear from Mike Shildt, I just want to make this point, even though I know it was a tough night for Xander. When you get shut out in back-to-back games and you've only had a 2-run home run from Elias Diaz in your last 3 games, it's not only on Xander Bogaerts. I mean, it's look, obviously the Padres are missing a lot of guys right now. We'll continue to say it because it's the biggest reason, in my opinion, why this offense has really, really cooled off. I don't know how you could look at it any other way. But right now, it's sort of a top-to-bottom thing, whether it's the top of the order. I know Fernando had a couple of hits tonight. That double in the eighth inning was big, put himself in scoring position representing the tying run. But Manny's had a little skid here. Obviously, Xander's in the midst of a little skid. Gavin Sheets took another 0 for tonight. Bottom of the lineup, not producing a ton. 0 for 3 with runners in scoring position. We talked about that pregame, it being an issue. I bring all these things up not to pile on, but to make the point that you don't go as cold as they've gone offensively as of late because of one guy. Okay, you get hot as a team, you score a lot of runs as a team, and you get shut out and don't score a lot as a team as well. So it's top to bottom in that lineup right now, and we'll see if they can get it to going tomorrow in the middle game of this 3-game series. Let's go downstairs here at Petco Park and hear some post-game reaction.
Let's pull up a seat in the manager's office and hear from Padres manager Mike Shildt. Served up by Sin Lee Food, where fresh meets flavor. Find farm fresh produce, bold Asian spices, and gourmet ingredients at 4665 El Cajon Boulevard. Sin Lee Food, the cook's Asian resource.
Mike, nice effort from Boz. What did you make of him and how tough he was on your guys?
Say that again.
Nice effort from Boz. What do you make of him and kind of how tough he was on some of your guys tonight?
Oh, he was tough. That ball was coming out good. He threw the ball really well. He had a good old-fashioned pitcher's duel. Just came on the short side of it, but he was making pitchers with some plus stuff. Breaking ball was really good. Locating the fastball to life. He was sticking balls right on corners. Sometimes you tip your hat.
What can you do to kind of get this offense going, or do you just kind of know that these guys are?
I think we do what we've done for a long time here. We just keep taking tough at bats. Like I said, sometimes you have to tip your hat. Last 2 starters we faced, we've had, Olsen was good the other day in Detroit. This guy threw the ball really well today. We just got to continue to be able to take good at bats, use the whole field, and take advantage of the situation when they present themselves.
What do you think of King today?
Oh, King was really good. Stuff was good. They put some good at bats on him. Did some damage control to just leave it at 1. In the third, stuff was really good again. I thought pitching was fantastic. 1 walk, 17 punch outs, combo between, King, Morejon, Estrada, and Jacob. So, I thought those guys were very good, and Wandy as well. Wandy threw the ball exceptionally well, coming out really good. Pitched well enough, just couldn't scratch.
You say that you need a whole roster to get through a season. Can you speak to ways in which your depth is being tested right now, like especially late in game. You can't really, you'd have Gavin Sheets off the bench, against, right-handed, and now he's facing a left-hander today.
Right.
You can't do what you were doing earlier in the year.
Yeah, I mean, listen, we've got what we have, and Gavin actually is taking really good at bats against lefties too. So, with Clevenger, he's a fairly neutral guy. Gavin's taking good at bats. He did get on, unique way. We weren't counting on that necessarily, but yeah, listen, we have what we have, and we're, looking to maximize it all the time and create opportunities that are there. And it was a pretty straight up game tonight. And, Sheets has done a good job for us, and he's anchoring a big part of the order.
Results aside, can you kind of appreciate the moment for Tirso and what that means to him?
Yeah, that's pretty special. I think I've alluded to it, but it may have changed since then. But, he's a 23,417th big league player. And he's a local homegrown guy, local in geography, pretty close. And I'm also, homegrown Padre. So a lot to celebrate there. Not a straight line for Tirso to get here, and applaud him. And, it's good to see him get that first knock, and let's get a lot more.
Might have done something to his hand.
Yeah, we'll evaluate it. He jammed it, so maybe something going on. Looked like maybe with his thumb, but obviously I'm in here and the game just over. So, but something did happen, and we'll see what it looks like.
I know injuries are part of this game, but it feels like you're really being tested with your first adversity of the season.
Yeah, listen, this is a battle-tested team, and the thing is we've had last year. We lost a lot of guys coming into the season. We had Bogey go out for 2 months. Darvish and Musgrove were out a good portion of last season. Toddy missed 2.5 months. Listen, we had our trials and tribulations. Manny was coming off a surgery, and took him a while to get back into the flow of things. So, you're going to be compromised throughout the course of the season. That's just part of how this game works. And, we've got some guys down. We have more than capable guys with us now. We're still in a pretty good spot, relative to, where we're standing in the league. I think if we closed our eyes and said we'd be where we're at, everybody feel probably pretty good about it. But we do have some guys down, and we'll just figure it out, because winners find solutions, and we got a clubhouse full of them.
That was Padres manager Mike Shildt after this 1-0 defeat to the Tampa Bay Rays on this Friday night. Sam Levitt back with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building as we continue to wrap this one up. Couple of things here. I did want to just point out one really cool thing, because, and I know, you might be sitting there thinking like, they lost 1-0. What was the cool thing? Well, let me tell you about one thing that was really, really neat tonight. And it came on the Tirso Ornelas first hit of his major league career. And the cool part about it, obviously Tirso getting the hit was awesome. Great for Tirso. Everything Mike Shildt alluded to. Homegrown Padre, grew up in Tijuana, grew up coming to Padres games. Like, really, really cool story all the way around. But a guy who spent a ton of time in the minor leagues with the Padres. Really, really great moment for Tirso Ornelas. But another really cool part of it was Jonathan Aranda was playing first base for the Tampa Bay Rays tonight. And Aranda is also from Tijuana. From what I understand, Tirso and Aranda, know of one another. I'm not totally sure of how close the relationship was growing up, but from what I was told, there is a relationship there. The cool thing that happened was Aranda was playing first base. So Tirso gets the first base after the hit, and you have two guys who grew up in Tijuana standing next to each other. And as the ball is getting thrown back towards the Padres dugout, because the Padres, you got some guys, like Manny was on the top step waving his arm saying, get the ball to us. It's his first hit, like teams typically do. Happens, fairly often. They threw it to Aranda, the first baseman, and Aranda caught the ball and then handed it to Tirso. And I thought that was awesome. It was awesome for Aranda to do it, and also because they're both from Tijuana. Like, it was a really, really cool, baseball moment to see Aranda do that. So, tip of the cap to Jonathan Aranda. That was a really, really classy thing to do on that first major league hit by Tirso Ornelas. And I'm not sure, everybody here caught it. I am not told. I don't know if Jesse and Bob talked about it on the air. It was a very quick moment. So I did want to tell people about it, because I saw it. And they didn't. I checked. They didn't quite get it on TV either, but it was a really, 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 really cool moment with Aranda and Ornelas. So I wanted to point that out. Look, back to the baseball. I said this during the road trip. I'll say it again here tonight. It's obviously a very tough stretch for this offense right now. They came into today averaging 2.5 runs per game in their last 8 games. So to do the quick math, it's now 20 runs scored in their last 9 games combined. That's an average now of 2.2 runs per game. And obviously that's not very much. And obviously the Padres haven't scored more than 4 runs in any of their last 9 games. And they've now been shut out back-to-back games, Wednesday in Detroit and here today. I think the frustrating part from my perspective, and I would think a lot of you out there, is I don't really know what the answers are other than going back to what I've said repeatedly during this week, which is 2 things need to happen. Top of the order, which has not been great the last few days, last few games, needs to produce more. Fernando had a couple of hits, obviously, gave him a chance in the 8th inning to tie the game with a double and getting himself in scoring position. But they need the top of that order, whether it's Xander, whether it's Manny, whether it's Fernando, whether it's Gavin Sheets. They need the top of that order to carry more of the load because they are so banged up right now and you're missing so many guys and you're feeling it right now. There's no doubt about it. You're feeling these injuries really hit this offense. So it's on the guys at the top of the lineup to pick up some of the slack. Okay. And it's also on the guys getting the opportunities to fill in. This is your opportunity to run with and show you can be a part of this team in a real sense moving forward, even when guys get back. You look at everybody after the cleanup spot tonight. Oscar Gonzalez took an 0 for 4. Tirso did have a base hit. Iglesias was 0 for 2 today, but Iglesias Iglesias was hit by a pitch, stole a base. He only had 3 plate appearances. So, but was 0 for 2 with a hit by pitch. Elias Diaz was 0 for 3. Tyler Wade, I actually thought, had a great turn at the plate in the 3rd, got on base with 2 outs. Fernando then had a base hit. Bogart struck out to end the inning. But you need some of those guys to be, more in the run-producing element. And we haven't seen that, especially the last handful of days. So, I think that the frustrating part about it is I don't have a great solution. Mike Shildt said there, one of his phrases, winners find solutions, and they're going to just have to find a way to win these games and scratch across runs. And that's going to take guys stepping up. But I don't think there's a whole new group of players coming in until some of these guys start getting off the IL. So the Padres, I think, are going to have to survive until these guys start coming back, like Merrill and Arise and Hayward and Cronenworth. But right now, I think for sure you're seeing a real impact of these injuries to this lineup. And, guys at the top not playing particularly well. Bogarts obviously hasn't played great as of late. Manny's in a bit of a skid last 6-7 games. Sheets has taken a few offers in a row now. Fernando hasn't been quite as impactful as he was, up until a few days ago. So you put all that together with the injuries, this is kind of what you get. And I'm not saying it's fun. I'm not saying it's, a good, but I don't have a great answer for you right now. And unfortunately, the Padres pitched plenty well enough to win this game. King was good. The only run he gave up was unearned. And then the bullpen did what the bullpen does. And they kept it a 1-run game, gave the offense an opportunity to tie this game, take a lead, win this game, even in the bottom half of the 9th inning. And so the Padres unfortunately fall 1-0. And we'll see if they can bounce back tomorrow, even up this series at a game apiece with right-hander Dylan Cease on the mound. Padres fall 2-17-9. Tampa Bay improves to 12-14. We'll step aside when we come back. Our relief pitcher of the game, if you want to get a phone call in, you can, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973. Phone number to call, as always. Still a lot to do on our post-game coverage. We're back after this on the Padres Radio Network. Final score on this Friday night, the Rays 1 and the Padres nothing. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. A great crowd here tonight. What else is new? 43,000 plus in the building, 12 sellout already of 2025 and 14 openings. So the fans continue to show up. Unfortunately, they weren't treated to the best show here tonight. Padres shut out for the second time this season and for the second time in as many games, unfortunately, as the Padres offense continues to struggle. I do give a tip of the cap to Shane Baz, who was good in this game. Not good. He was great. 7 scoreless innings, 4 hits allowed, 1 walk, struck out 6. Padres did have their opportunities. The runners on first and third against Baz in the third. Xander Bogaerts struck out to end the inning. Leadoff single in the 4th inning. Leadoff single in the 5th inning. 1 out walk in the 6th inning. 2 out hit batter in the 7th and a stolen base to put the tying run in scoring position. So again, it's not like the Padres didn't have any base traffic against Baz, but unfortunately could not find the big hit, could not find a way to scratch across a run on this Friday night. Certainly a lot of bright spots in the Padres bullpen tonight. Let's tell you about our relief pitcher of the game.
Which pitcher entered the game and slammed the door shut? This is today's relief pitcher of the game, presented by David P. Shapiro Criminal Defense Attorneys. When your freedom and future are on the line, you need the best arm in the pen. Visit davidpshapirolaw.com.
1-2 now. The pitch. Meisner swings and misses. Strike 3. Blew a fastball past him. And a 2 strikeout. 1-2-3-6. Turned in by Morejon.
Our relief pitcher of the game tonight, Adrian Morejon, who continues to do good things. A very quick and easy 1-2-3-6 inning. Struck out 2 in a 1-2-3 frame. Morejon lowering his ERA to 2.19 in 12 appearances so far this season. Nice job by Adrian. Very efficient as well. Morejon doing it on just 9 pitches, 7 first strikes. And for that reason, Morejon, our relief pitcher of the game. But I'll tell you what, the bullpen was great. Once again, that has been something very, very consistent, even as the Padres have now lost 5 out of their last 7 games. Really, aside from Wednesday when the game got away a little bit in the later innings with Morejon and Matsui on the mound. That was another reason tonight was nice for Morejon. Nice little bounce back from what was a tougher outing in Detroit on Wednesday. But this bullpen continues to do what it does. And you look at this game, they were down 1-0 when Morejon came in the 6th inning. Morejon a scoreless 6th. Peralta a scoreless 7th. Estrada a scoreless 8th. Jacob a scoreless 9th. They gave up 2 hits total. They didn't walk anybody. They struck out 8 total in 4 innings and kept it a 1-0 game. Gave the Padres an opportunity to come back and win this one. Unfortunately, the offense could not. Let's hear tonight's catch of the game.
Which defensive play had the biggest impact on today's game?
He is at the wall, leaps up, and he makes the catch.
This is the catch of the game.
Gonna hang a star for Jackson Merrill.
Reeled in by Anthony's Fish Grotto La Mesa, celebrating 80 years of seafood excellence.
McCoy, big lead, not running, and Oscar swings, loops it into shallow right. Meisner charging, dives forward. He made the catch. Throwback to first base is in time. McCoy is doubled up, and the ball game is over.
That was our catch of the game, and trust me, it doesn't give me any great pleasure to have that be our catch of the game. We try to go Padres when we can, but sometimes you got to go with the play that saved the game, and that one did by Meisner in right field for the Rays. Great catch by Meisner coming in on a little bloop off the bat of Oscar Gonzalez. Made a great play, getting to it right before it hit the outfield grass, sliding, and then got up, made a good throw to first base to double off Mason McCoy. Double play to end the game and secure a 1-0 Rays win. So the catch by Meisner in right field, our catch of tonight's game. And I said this in our highlights segment. I'll say it again here because I went back and looked at, and I'm not sure what they showed on TV or not, but I went back and looked because from my angle where I was, ready to go on the field in the case of a walk-off down by the field, I quite honestly didn't see the play well at all. So when I got back up here, I looked at the high home angle of that play. And again, McCoy got halfway between first and second, which is really all he can do in that spot because that ball was hit so shallow. He can't risk, if it falls in, getting thrown out at second base on a force out, which is a possibility there if you're not halfway. So he got halfway. The problem was when Meisner just got to it before it hit the grass, made a great sliding catch on it. McCoy thought he trapped it initially because McCoy took a few steps towards second, then realized that Meisner had caught it, or he saw the out signal from the umpire. I don't know which, but then put on the brakes and went back to first, and that's what cost him. I think if he immediately goes back to first base, he's back at first base pretty easily. It was the initial read to go to second, and then he got caught being too far from first base and couldn't get back in time. And unfortunately, it looked like he hurt his hand on that dive back into first base. Looked like one of his fingers might have bent. So we'll see what the update is on McCoy. Hopefully he's okay. But, that's kind of what happened there. And again, he did the right thing getting midway between first and second, but it was the read on a really tough read because I'm sure for him, it's hard to see whether Meisner trapped it or caught it cleanly, and he did catch it cleanly. And that first move to second base is what ultimately hurt the Padres and cost McCoy getting doubled up at first base. But look, the bottom line is this: is that what lost the Padres the game tonight? I don't think so. I mean, it's hard to score. It's hard to win when you don't score. And the Padres offense isn't doing a whole lot right now and hadn't scored after they had already recorded 25 outs in this game. So, and they had some opportunities to do that. So, tough one here tonight for the Padres as they fall 1-0. If you want to get a phone call in, 833-288-0973, 833-288-0973, phone number to call if you want to chime in. When we return, full look at the out-of-town scoreboard, our play of the game. We wrap things up, get you ready for tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Our Jamul Casino Resort Padres postgame show continues here on the Padres Radio Network. Sam Levitt with you inside the loft here at the Western Metal Building at Petco Park as we continue to wrap this one up. We'll take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard in a moment. Also have our play of tonight's game. We've talked a lot about the Padres' offensive struggles, being shut out back-to-back games. They have not scored since the second inning on Tuesday. And I just feel like I got to tell you this because it just is what it is, and I don't mean to bring up any bad memories, but Padres have now not scored in 25 consecutive innings. So it's been a while, and hopefully they can get it going tomorrow against the Rays, and right-hander Ryan Pepio on the mound tomorrow for the Rays. We'll have more on that middle game of the series coming up in just a moment. Right now, let's take a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard.
Let's take a trip around the bigs to highlight the scores that matter most with our out-of-town scoreboard. Presented by Jensen Premium Beef Patties. Always a hit for grilling.
Here today, the Cubs beat the Phillies 4-0 in Chicago at Wrigley Field. Cubs playing really well. They're now 17-10 on the year. Nationals won a thriller against the Mets in D.C., 5-4. Mets trailed that game 3-0. They took a 4-3 lead in the bottom half of the eighth inning. Nationals tied it in the bottom half of the ninth inning, and then they won it. C.J. Abrams on first base. He took off on, I think, what was a 3-2 pitch, and then James Wood hit a grounder towards the middle, got underneath the glove of Mets second baseman Jeff McNeil, and Abrams, who again was off and running on the pitch, scored on it all the way from first base with the winning run as the Nationals win it 5-4. Blue Jays beat the Yankees 4-2 in New York. Vladimir Guerrero Jr. a home run in that game for Toronto. Twins beat the Angels 11-4 in Minnesota. Trevor Larnach a 3-run home run in that game for the Twins. Royals beat the Astros 2-0. Cardinals beat the Brewers 3-2 in St. Louis. Reds beat the Rockies 8-7 in Colorado. Spencer Steer a 2-run home run for Cincinnati in that one. Braves beat the Diamondbacks 8-2 in Arizona. Marlins beat the Mariners in Seattle 8-4. Jesus Sanchez, 2-run home run in that game for Miami. A's beat the White Sox 6-5 in Sacramento. Pirates beat the Dodgers 3-0 in LA. Paul Skeens shutting out the Dodgers in that game. Skeens really, really good in his start in LA. 6 1/3 scoreless innings. He struck out 9, allowed 5 hits. And the Dodgers are not playing great right now, just 16-10 on the season. So the Padres do stay a half game ahead of LA. You want a little silver lining here tonight. We told you about that Pirates-Dodgers game. What else? Rangers beat the Giants 2-0 in San Francisco earlier tonight. We did have 2 postponements today. Orioles and the Tigers postponed in Detroit due to weather. They'll make that up as part of a doubleheader tomorrow. Same for the Red Sox and Guardians. They got postponed in Cleveland today. And that's a full look at the out-of-town scoreboard on this Friday. Final score, Rays 1, Padres 0 here in San Diego. Let's hear tonight's play of the game.
The line between winning and losing can be razor thin. Which play was the difference between victory and defeat? This is today's play of the game. Presented by Bill Howe Plumbing, Heating, and Air.
McCoy, big lead, not running, and Oscar swings, loops it into shallow right. Meisner charging, dives forward. He made the catch. Throwback to first base is in time. McCoy is doubled up, and the ball game is over.
That was our play of the game. Final play of the game. Great catch by Meisner in right field, doubling off Mason McCoy. Did a great job. Meisner getting it right before it hit the outfield grass on a slide, and then a good strong throw to get Mason McCoy at first base, and that was the ball game. Really had 2 picks in this game. He could either pick that or the sac fly, and my goodness, are we really going to give a play of the game to a sac fly? I don't think so. So, unfortunately, as we always say, it doesn't give me any great pleasure to pick something like that for our play of the game, but some nights it's It's kind of what you got to do if the game dictates that, and that's what we had here tonight as the Rays win it 1-0 against the Padres to take this series opener. As always, if you missed any portion of our post-game coverage here tonight, you can go back and listen to all of it on the Inside San Diego Baseball podcast with Sam Levitt, available on the Odyssey app or wherever you find your podcasts. You can also watch any portion of our post-game coverage on the 97.3 The Fan YouTube channel. And sorry for the lack of phone calls today. We had quiet phone lines today, so maybe we'll get back to the phone calls tomorrow. Taking a look ahead to tomorrow's game. First pitch tomorrow at 5:40 p.m. Our Eco Water SoCal Padres pregame show begins at 4:40. Right-hander Ryan Pepio on the mound for the Rays tomorrow. Right-hander Dylan Cease on the mound for San Diego. Taking a look at the final totals here tonight on this Friday. For the Tampa Bay Rays, 1 run, 6 hits, no errors, and the Rays left on 7. For the Padres, no runs, 5 hits, and 1 error, and the Padres left on 5. Winning pitcher in this game was Shane Baz, who improves to 3-0. Tough luck loss for Michael King, who drops to 3-1. Time of game, 2 hours and 27 minutes, and the crowd at Petco Park, already the 12th sellout of 2025, 43,319. Once again, first pitch tomorrow, 5:40 p.m. Our pregame coverage begins at 4:40. Until then, for our great studio coordinator, Frank Marchese, I'm Sam Levitt saying so long and good night. Again, the final score here tonight at Petco Park, the Tampa Bay Rays 1 and the San Diego Padres 0. We'll talk to you tomorrow on the Padres Radio Network. Have a great night, everybody.